Furious Driving, proud to be supported by Diamond Bright, protecting, cleaning and caring for the Furious fleet and for yours, with 10% off using code FD10. Follow the links in the description below. Hello and welcome to Furious Driving and welcome to summertime, and because the weather is so very lovely, I've brought home the MX5 from the barn because it's perfect top-down weather. Lovely. You cannot actually even see the hills over there because the weather has just turned so British summer. Anyway, the reason I brought the MX5 home is because, well, not in the welding on the Crown Victoria today because, well, it's raining, but I do have a couple of little things to give a quick visual overhaul on the little Mazda. The Eunos is going to get a bit of a treat. And this is going to be in two areas. First of all, the lighting, again, more lighting upgrades for the car. And secondly, the long-awaited wheel upgrade, which I've been talking about ever since I got the car back before Christmas time. I'll reveal all on that in a moment. And I don't think it's what people are going to be expecting, but it's exactly what I was looking for. So anyway, first of all, the lights. Going back to Rosterville, Viewer Martin very kindly junked in the trunk to me two things. First of all, a pair of tail lights. Now these aren't brand new, but they are certainly better than what's in my car at the moment, because these lights, which you now can't see because it's raining, have actually got little splatters in them. You might be able to make out little grey marks. I can't polish them out. My friend who owned the car before, he can't pull it or couldn't polish them out. He thinks they're a welding splatter because they're kind of in the plastic. So, although these are not bad lights, that little welding splatter is annoying, so I'm going to change that out. Secondly, and this is quite a cool thing, which I do rather like actually, something I considered even before I had this car and I was looking at MX-5s and the accessories that go with them. These are the clear headlights. These look really cool. Obviously, being a standard H4 light bulb, I can put my upgraded halogen bulbs into this. The only thing is though, the lights that I've got in this car, let's pop those lamps up. These are already aftermarket lights because these came with sealed lamps in them. So these have got their removable H4s in them. However, these have got an additional side light in them, which does look pretty cool, but it does mean I'm going to have a spare side light bulb floating around. Question is, can I make that light bulb, little LED side lamp bulb, work down here in the side and become a side marker? Can I drill out the back of that mounting and fit a side marker bulb into that? That is going to be my number one challenge. And once those are fitted, I can then go and show you what I've bought here, which I won't reveal just yet. Let's keep some air of mystery going. I don't think it's going to be what you're expecting. But first of all, I think I'm going to change places with the MX-5 and the Mini because it's dry underneath there and it's not dry over there. So popping these tail lights out is pretty easy. We just unclip the light cluster, undo that one light bulb on the corner, which is the indicator, and undo these few, I think they're 10mm nuts, bolts, and things should just pop straight out. The absolute joy of working on cars of this kind of era, 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s, is how easy it is to get to everything. Just 10mm nuts and bolts. The slightly confusing thing on this one is that there was a little bracket which simply pushes over the nut and you slide it off with a pair of pliers. Nothing is too complicated, I love it. There was also an extra little 10mm which holds on the carpety cover behind this light, they're missing on the other side, so I was about to say this should just pop straight out, and what do you know, it pops straight out. That's super easy, barely an inconvenience, and likewise this one, super easy, barely an inconvenience. I'll give this a quick clean up inside there before I put the next one back on again. Now, as always, it's a huge thank you to Diamond Bright for continuing to sponsor the channel. This is actually the caravan version, but this is Express Wash and Wax, which is a great instant cleaner for pretty much any scenario, and I'll give the seal a quick rub over as well. Actually, these look good being replacing. I wish I'd done a bit of pre-search on this and started taking this back end apart before I started doing the video, because I could do with replacing those rubbers. I need to make sure I put this back the right way around. I'm going to go that way around. Now, these ones are not going to go to waste. I'll keep them in the barn or the garage until, well, just in case I ever need them in the future, in case the car gets banged, someone vandalises it or something annoying, and I need a second light for any reason. But I'm not going to throw them away because they're good lights. These ones, though, are also good lights. However, they're not as shiny as they could be, so I'm going to give them a little quick buff with some one finish, which is a light cut. A light cut. Oh, see what I did there? Didn't even intend to do that one. So they've got a nice shine to them, a nice clean, crisp shine. I can give them a little polish after I've done this. Right, let's give that a quick squiz off. And there, that is a lovely shine on that. I'll use some ceramic glaze on this just to give it a final finish, so it's got some protection from the elements, or the elephants, I don't mind. You know, can't trust those elephants. But that's deeply, deeply shiny. You can get loads of other variations. The MX5 is so well catered for aftermarket stuff, but honestly I think the originals do kind of look the best. I don't want them black tinted or Lexus lights or anything cheesy like that. Just keep them original, keep them cool. I don't know if this is coming out on camera, the before and after effect of these lights, but the polished one looks like brand new. This one looks good, but it looks like a little faded, little grey. This is such a transformation for like 2 minutes with the DA polisher and a bit of polish. Amazing work. There we go. It's much better. Well, I think it's much better. You probably wouldn't notice if you saw it in the street, but I did spend a long time polishing the old units up to try and get them better, but they weren't as good as this, so I'm very happy. Let's turn the car around. Oh, has it stopped raining? Wow, okay. Let's go and work to the front of the car, see what we can do with those headlights. Right, so I've popped out the headlight and I've popped out the little side marker reflector, only a couple of screws for each. And what I can see is that although there's no big hole going down into this lower area in the bumper, there are lots of medium-sized holes. So if I take the end off this light bulb here, so I've just got the bare cables, I can feed them down there and they should pop out down there, which means I've then got to do a bit of clever stuff with the drill and I can have myself a side marker light. Because this is the side marker light as it comes out the car, but it's got it looks like a space for a light bulb that's not been drilled, I guess for the American market. So I'll give this a little wash and clean up, and even if this goes horribly wrong, Martin also gave me a set of front and rear side markers, so I can replace it with one of his good ones if I mess this up, which is a nice bit of reassurance. Well, there we go. It's a bit of a solid light just there, but you know, it is a side marker. I'm going to go with that. Okay, so if I unfeed this back through the back of the headlight bowl, there's a little screw hole down the bottom of here, which I can feed that through. Got quite a lot of length on these wires, thankfully. And then I just better find it underneath the bumper somewhere. Where are you? Let's be having you. There we go. Whoop. Bada bing. Another connector and we're done. Bit of crimpage and we're good to go. I'll get a bit of insulation tape on that and we're laughing. Let's give this another quick clean up. Clean as you go, as they say. Cleanliness being next to godliness, but only if you've got a discount dictionary which is missing a few chapters. That's weird. 2 videos in 2 days, both mentioning dictionaries. Feed this back in here and I can try and tuck the wires out of the way so they don't get snagged. I think that goes that way up. Just double check it works. Hey, side marker goodness. That's so cool. Oh, except I've now managed to pull the side light out of the side light housing. That was careless. Ouch. It's a brand new, still in the wrapper, Whipack clear lens lamps, which look absolutely the bomb. So good looking. So crisp. Perfect. I did clean up the inside of these, but they do still look a bit frosty. And these are, whatever these were, Osram I think. Osram, yeah, Osram night breakers. Try not to touch anything. We can transfer the rubber bung off the other one. Wow, that is so crispy. Just hook up the H4s, easy does it. Well, that's one side done. That looks really, really crisp and fresh, doesn't it? Really changes the look of the car. Just need to quickly do that side as well now. Well, there we go. That looks, well, so good, so fresh with those crisp, clean lights. And I've never seen a UK MX5 running side markers before, so that's something a bit different, but well, it's unique basically as far as I'm aware. Now, of course, I do need to do the same thing at the back, which won't be a problem because those side markers are exactly the same thing. I just need to take a power feed and an earth off the tail lights. And one thing I do need to go and do is get onto Amazon or somewhere and find some rubber boots I can sit over the back of those connectors to keep them all nice and dry. But that looks really, really cool. Be interesting to see tonight when I take the car for a drive in the dark whether these look any different or not. But hey, I'm happy with what we've got now. But now, of course, the thing you've actually been waiting for, what wheels am I going to stick on this thing? That is the million-dollar question. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering about the legality of having side markers on a British car, I have checked into this before I did this, okay? As long as you're still showing the white marker on the front, you can have non-flashing repeaters on the side of the car, same as you'd have on a caravan or a trailer or a truck. It's not illegal as long as you've got the white ones on the front still. We're all good. Okay, now, the million-dollar question. What am I about to stick on all four corners of this car? Well, ready for this? 3, 2, 1. It's going Steelies. R50 Mini Steelies, no less. They're both 4x100. I believe the offset is close enough as to not be a problem. And these, admittedly, are kind of grubby, but they've been sat in someone's garden for quite a long time. And I only paid 50 quid for all four, including some actually pretty decent Falcon Zeon rubber on them. Although I think these tyres are going to be too big, so I'm going to have to find some smaller tyres. These are going to look like the old Dunlop racing wheels from the 50s. I'm not going to go crazy and stick the knockoff fake hub in the middle. That would be going too far, but I'm going to give these a quick wash. I'm going to paint them silver, and they are going to look like good old-fashioned Dunlops. But first of all, let's quickly whip a couple off the side of this car and have a quick look and see if they actually fit, because I'm super excited to see this. Ooh. Right, let's give it a bit of a ruby red to get the brake dust out of these things. And that is the ruby red lifting the brake dust out of the paint before I'd even done anything. There we go, much nicer. Well, they look a lot nicer, but they're definitely going to need sanding and painting. But I figured that anyway. I had actually been looking for a set of these wheels since Christmas time, or before Christmas time. The problem was, because R50 Minis are, well, they're a popular car, that people use them all year round, anyone with a set of steel wheels for them was refurbishing them and fitting them with winter wheels so that they're ready for the winter time. And that meant that they're all costing an absolute fortune. I didn't want winter tyres that were the right size for a Mini, I just wanted the steel rims. So it wasn't until now, which sort of the beginning of summertime, when I was able to find a set for cheap. 50 quid in fact on Marketplace, good old Marketplace. Oh, I'll be so glad to get rid of these awful tuner bolts, which are just so fragile. They're just one misplaced socket away from shredding and leaving you stranded again, like I was before. Please, all my hopes and dreams are resting on you. Yes, they fit. Okay, so ignore the stupid wheel nuts. They're not staying. We'll get the proper ones on them. And ignore the fact they're scruffy. Let's see how this looks. Oh, that looks good. That really fills the arch nicely. It's too big, but it fills the arch nicely. Okay, these are definitely the wrong tyres because they're far too big. However, they're a lot narrower. You can see they're a lot narrower. And I think the fat tyres are actually adversely affecting the handling on the car. They make it too sticky. These, although they're too tall, and to get the next size down on the rolling radius, do look pretty good. Also, and this is a very unexpected bonus, these are a really good set of Falcons, even if I don't change it and just use my phone as a GPS speedo for a bit. These are much better tyres than the old Toyos. If were good tyres 15 years ago, that's a long time ago. Do you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say that looks absolutely flipping amazing. And the reason it works so well is because the old MX5s are designed to look like the classic British sports car, the Lotus Elan, the old Triumphs, the MGs, that kind of thing. So it does kind of hark back to those kind of basic, simple styles. It works so brilliantly. What I do need to do is downsize those tyres. Really was hoping I could get away with these really nice Falcons on there. Unfortunately, they are just too tall in the sidewall. It's going to be completely destroying the fantastic MX5 handling. Fills the arches really nicely, but they are just too much sidewall. I need to go down to, I think, well, these are a 175, 65, 15. I think I need to go down to a 55 or a 50 to get the correct rolling radius on it, but that looks absolutely the bomb. I'm so happy with that. That looks brilliant. I'm sure I'm going to get loads of comments telling me I should have gone for either original alloys or some aftermarket alloys. Don't forget though, I've still got the Rover 400 away in paint. That's going to need a new set of alloys soon. I've got some great ideas for that as well, which I'm sure you're going to hate too. But I think that looks absolutely fantastic. The British Racing Green, the silver, looks so good. What I do need to do though is to paint these, sand them back, paint them either this silver or a darker silver perhaps would look really nice. And of course go and get a correct set of wheel nuts because those look very silly indeed. But overall, I'm very happy. It's going to be time for the happy dance. Happy dance, happy dance. Happy dance. Right, so I'm going to abandon you and go and take these off for the time being because I need to go and paint them and buy some correct wheel nuts. But I do think they look absolutely fantastic. I hope you do too. Let me know in the comments below. I'm going to have to live with the old alloys a little bit longer while I sort out the tyres and the paint, but that's going to be so good when it's done. And I've got to say those alloys have slightly come round on me over the last couple of months. I don't hate them as much as I used to, but I still don't love them. I think these look a lot better, especially if I put the little Dunlop stickers on there as well to make it look like a proper Dunlop racing wheel from the 50s. That's so cool. That's very cool indeed. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, you know the business. See you next time. Goodbye.